The Clio 182 is back at last. Well, I hope it will be in 10 or 15 minutes. People have asked me whether it's been sold. People have actually offered to buy the Clio, believe it or not, from me. But it's actually been stored away for about 6 months, which is the longest I think I've ever stored a car off the road. So I put it sawn, which for non-UK viewers is statutory off the road notification, which basically means you don't have to pay road tax because you're not using it on the UK roads. So I was sawned in November. The plan was 2 or 3 months over the worst of the winter, while there's a lot going on, roads are very bad, and get it out early in the new year. That never happened for various reasons: work, lifestyle, family life, etc. And it's now been 6 months. We're now proper into the British summertime. And it's about time we got this car back on the road where it belongs. Again, it's not some exotic Ferrari 250 GTO. Unfortunately, it's a lusty old French hatchback that's worth a few thousand. But to me, it's just as special because this is I absolutely love the Clios, the 182s. They are, for me, the very last of the old school hot hatches, and I include that because the later generations, even the 197s and 200s, they just grew a little bit more in size, in weight, etc. And for me, it's the last of the really, really old French hatches that you can throw around, just like the cars that we remember from the 80s and 90s. So I'm going to put it on the road, but before I do that, there's always some checks you need to do. If your car's off the road for a longer than 6 months, year or more, there's many more checks that you need to do. But I think if it's 6 months or under, it should be okay, it should be fine. When I put the car in the garage, I did the standard inflate your tyres. I put it on a C-Tech trickle charger, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I made sure the fuel was full as well, the fuel tank is full. Important that it's full, because if it's empty or half empty, that can lead to corrosion in the fuel tanks and things like that. So make sure you've got full fuel when you store any car. So let me run you through what we're going to do. It's always a little bit mixed feelings when you come to start the car after so long off the road. Mixed feelings, I think. One is joy, excitement, back in the car. It feels like a new car. Get to see the car, drive it, experience it, listen to it. All those sensations that you have when you drive a sports car. But on the other hand, there's the nerves about will it start, will it run properly, will it brake properly, will it drive properly, etc, etc. So it's always important, once you've got the car started, get it running, and then just check the brakes, take it really steady and just build up speed and take it on a run. Don't start it for 5 minutes and then switch it off. And incidentally, that's important with this car. That cover's never been off that car. The only thing I've done is push the car forward and backwards by about 2 or 3 feet, just to make sure the wheels rotate and stop flat spotting on the tyres. But other than that, this car's never been started. If you start your car, you really need to get it up to temperature, get heat in it, and take it for a good drive. Don't just be tempted to start it, run it for 5 minutes and switch it off. That'll do more damage than good. Okay, let me show you around the car what I'm going to do, and let's have a look at this Clio, and let me take off the cover so we can all see it together. Here it is, hopefully completely and utterly dust free. When you take these covers off, it's always best, if you can, to fold them up so the dust stays on the inside. I always try to do that, and try not for it to fall on the floor as well, because if it falls on the floor, all you do is pick up all the dust from the garage floor, which you don't want to do. So there is the beast, and there is the 182. Fingers crossed this starts. So a couple of things with the car. First of all was the tyres. I did overinflate these tyres. I put about 42 psi in each of the tyres, and that's just to prevent flat spotting. And if you've got space, like I have, fortunately, I've got this probably about 5, 6, 7 foot of space either side at the front and the back of the car, so I can push it forward. It just stops flat spotting. I'll just shove that away. Open that. I use a C-Tech trickle charger. I think there's one thing that's really imperative is that you have some form of charger. The C-Techs are great because they are battery monitors and battery tenderers. They won't provide a constant trickle charge, which is what you don't want. You just want to monitor the battery, and as and when it detects a drop in voltage, then it will put a pulse charge in to keep your battery nice and topped up. So fingers crossed, there shouldn't be anything. All I do on a weekly basis, I just check it's either at number 7 or number 8 green. I don't know how easily you can see those lights there. In fact, it's just telling me now it's on a little pulse charge there. So it's normally at number 7, which is the last green light's not on, the 8th one. You can also, it's very versatile because you can configure it for cars or bike batteries, and it's also got a reconditioning function to recondition your battery, which is great. Because I fitted the car cover as well, incidentally I had to also unscrew the back aerial as well, and to ensure you don't start the car, let's hope the car opens. Yeah. To ensure I don't start the car with the C-Tech fitted, I've also made sure I put the positive terminal from the battery cover on the gear stick, just to remind me to disconnect the C-Tech. Where's the... You know you haven't opened a bonnet in a while when you struggle to find the catch for the bonnet. So I'll just switch the C-Tech off at the wall, so it removes any power from it. Then just disconnect the terminals, just crocodile clips on the C-Tech. So that can go away. And then put my positive terminal back on there. I don't know, maybe that's okay. I forgot how terrible it is to let me push the car back a little bit, because I can't actually see the dipstick very well where it is. So that's all I do. Move that back a bit, switch the light on. And then, wow, dipstick. Right, smack on the max there, which is nice. Hardest part with this is trying to find the hole. My word, it's horrendous. There you go. Bit of oil there. Okay. The other thing worth doing is so you've done the oil, check the coolants, is then get under the car and have a look under the car to see if there's been any loss of fluids at all. And that's absolutely fine. So, once the fluids are checked, I'm going to leave the pressures quite high until I get it out of the car, till I get it out of the garage. And now, fingers crossed, it starts. All the lights are on, so that's looking okay at the moment. It started, thankfully. So just going to quickly reverse it out, leave it ticking over, just quickly check the brakes on the drive at slow speeds. The car's out of the garage, it's back on the road. Hoping there'll be some videos coming up in the next few months on the Clio. So it's back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, thumbs up, subscribe, stay tuned. Speak to you all next week. Thanks for watching.